Hey everyone, we're just going to talk a little bit about research order. Now, obviously, you don't have to take it word for word because everyone has their own style, but it's worth noting that this research order that you're about to see is the one that I use for superhuman hardcore mode. So that means no load saving at all, except when I need to log off, and of course on the hardest difficulty of the game. So if it works for me, then there's no reason why it shouldn't work for you as well. So, you know, take a good look and hopefully you can take something away from this. Alright, so the first thing I'll start researching as soon as I start a new game is the Medi-Kit. Now the reason why I choose Medi-Kit over course technology is because I prefer to go straight to sonic weapons, and even so gas cannons are still pretty good before you get sonic weapons. Um, as for the particle disc sensor, they're good for making money, but I find that Medi-Kits are not only decent for making money, but also serve as a dual purpose because you actually use them the whole entire game as well. Well, you should use them. Um, so yeah, pretty much the only thing you need to know is if I get a sonic, if I get the sonic grenades before I actually finish the Medi-Kit, I will actually stop my Medi-Kit research and start my sonic pulses straight away. And the reason for that is because Medi-Kits are pretty useless at the start of the game anyway, because most of you guys will die in one hit, and sonic pulses are just that important. Now, if this actually happens, which is probably quite often, especially if you play in the high difficulties, then all you have to do is um, finish off your Medi-Kit right around the time that you get iron armor. Okay, because you only need Medi-Kits after you actually get armor to withstand their attacks. Okay, but we'll talk more about that probably a bit later. So yeah, that's pretty much it. First thing is first, get the Medi-Kit. Alright, so the next thing we'll research is the Sonic Pulsar. Now, this is the reason why we do this first is because this is probably the biggest game changer at the start of the game because grenades, especially if you use the grenade relay trick, which you can see in one of my other videos, pretty much make your life so much easier because you can do all kinds of things with them, and you don't have to worry about reaction fire as much unless they're facing you. Um, and of course, they pretty much one hit kill every single alien at the start of the game. Not to mention that alien, but any other surrounding alien. So it's a huge game changer. You want to get the sonic pulses as soon as possible. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning that the sonic pulsar has a really, really quick research time. So long as you have about 20 to 30 scientists going at it, you should have the sonic pulsar ready for the second, at the very least the third mission, and most certainly before the first Terra mission. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is upgrade our weapons. Now, I find that the best weapon to upgrade to at the start of the game is the Sonic Pistol. A couple of reasons. First of all, it's really lightweight. Second of all, it has a huge ammo clip of 20. Third of all, it's quick to research. Fourth, it's one-handed, right? So that means you can carry something else in the other hand, such as a grenade or a Medi-Kit or a stun rod, and not have to worry about your accuracy getting decreased because you're carrying a two-hander plus something else. And lastly, you can take 3 snapshots in one go, okay, compared to most other weapons too. So that's a huge advantage. I find that it kills pretty much everything, especially at the start of the game, and even lobstermen too, with a bit of patience. I think it's about 5-6 shots, but so if you randomly encounter like a small lobster crew at the start of the game, with a bit of patience, if you take it slow and you do sniper and spotter with sonic pistols and sonic pulses, then you should be okay, so long as you upgrade, soonish. But yeah, sonic pulses are the way to go. Sonic pistols are the way to go. Seriously, just use them. They're really, really good. Alright, so now that we've upgraded our offenses, it's time to focus on our defense. Now, AQUA plastic armor, I mean, it's not that great. You'll find that you'll probably still die in one hit, but it is a stepping stone to the much better armor, which we'll cover in a sec. Um, so you have to worry about the prerequisites to get AQUA plastic armor, which is a deep one, and an AQUA plastics itself, and then of course the armor. Now I find that I pretty much jump straight to iron armor, and in the meantime, while I'm going from AQUA plastic to iron, I will, maybe manufacture about 2-3 AQUA plastics just for my scouters. Um, but yeah, it's really not too much to worry about. Like, I wouldn't bother outfitting my whole team with this, unless for whatever reason you forget a live deep one, in which I would probably suggest just restarting the game, because that would be a major fail. Um, but yeah, AQUA plastic armor, I mean, it's just a stepping stone, really. Alright, so here's the next big game changer. So once you get iron armor, it makes your life a hell of a lot easier, because you can actually survive a couple hits usually. So iron armor, all you need is after you get the plastic AQUA armor, all you need is a iron beam accelerator, and then a live deep one. And make sure you research it in that order, not the other way around. Then of course, then you can get iron armor itself. Now, once I actually start my research on iron armor, now's the time to start recruiting some technicians. Depending on my money situation, I'll either go up to 10 to 24 more to make me a total of 34. Okay. Now, the reason why it's 34 is because with one workshop in your main base, right, you can use a maximum of 34 technicians just to manufacture the iron armor, because of the workspace crap. That's the fastest way to do it, and it's the only way. It's the best time you should start recruiting technicians, so you can start using them to get that armor out as soon as possible. Okay, so you want your extra technicians to come in before you finish your research, so you can start making them straight away. Iron armor, it's worth noting that obviously the armor values are different depending on where you get attacked from. So make sure you're always trying to get, if you know that an alien's nearby, try to always approach so that if he hits you, he'll be hitting your front, if possible. I mean, obviously that's not always possible, but try your best to. But yeah, iron armor, it's a game changer. You want to get this as soon as possible after you beef up your weapons and your grenade. Alright, so the next thing we need to get is our MC Lab. This should be available if you research your live deep one before your iron armor. Now, the reason why we need this so fast is because it takes a long time to actually construct. I believe it's 24 days. Then, of course, another extra month to actually screen them. And not to mention that some aquanauts could actually die before they actually get screened. So that's wasted MC space, really. So we need to get this up and running as soon as possible. Just take note that it does cost a lot of money to construct this. So make sure you do have that money spare before you actually finish it off. Or before you actually research it. As soon as I finish my research on the MC Labs, I like to have enough money to build 2 in my main base. And then eventually later on, I want to build a specialized MC Lab where I have 3 to 5 of them, just constantly screening out the good and bad aquanauts to go into my main force. Yeah, so really, really important you get this nice and early, especially in the high difficulties, because you want to get rid of those crappy aquanauts with their crappy MC strength as soon as possible. I know it's really heartbreaking to have a veteran soldier you've been using since the start of the game. Turns out he has like 5 MC strength, and then later in the game he's going to get fucked. But it's worth it in the end. You don't want any guy in your team with less than, I would say, 60 to 70 MC strength in your team. But I'll probably cover MC screening in another video. But yeah, get your MC Lab soonish. Alright, so the next important thing we want to research is the Vibro Blade. Now, obviously you may not have this because it really depends on whether you've seen Calisthenics yet or not, but all you need, if you have seen one, is a dead one. Okay, you don't need a live one, just a dead one. Now, the reason why this is so important is because they work really, really well with your sonic pistols, which you should be using still, because sonic pistols are one-handed, and of course you can have your drill in the other hand. So you can use these for close quarters, where the sonic pistol may not be so great. Now, the reason why I use a Vibro Blade over any other drill, such as the thermic lance or heavy thermic lance, is a couple of reasons. First of all, it's the fastest to research because it's the first tier of drills. Okay, so you don't need to waste any more time researching, the dead gill man and then the drills themselves. So it's wasted time there. Second of all, it's equal lightest, so it's the same amount of weight as the thermic lance, but lighter than the heavy thermic lance. Thirdly, and this is the most important one, it's the cheapest to attack. Okay, so normally it's about 6 to 8 time units to actually use the drill, and it kills, aquatoids, gillmen, and sometimes even lobstermen in one hit, even on superhuman difficulty. Okay, so if you were to use a more powerful drill, it would be kind of overkill and a waste of time units because it kills them in one hit anyway. Okay, for the things it doesn't kill in one hit, it's probably better to use another approach anyway, right? Such as, the large units. It's better to use a grenade on them rather than to run up to them and drill, because drilling the large units is usually ineffective. Tassif, they're kind of resistant to drills, but it's better to take them down with Sonic anyway from afar. And the list goes on, but you can watch that in the Monster Weaknesses video. But yeah, seriously, get the Vibro Blade. You don't need any of the other drills in any other difficulty. I know that some people will probably, may disagree with me there, but Vibro Blades, in my experiences, are really, really good. Probably the best. Alrighty, so the next thing we want to get is the Sonic Cannon, because what we need now is to really beef out our snipers, because our spotters should be using the pistol and the Vibro Blade, so they're already set, but we do need to beef up our snipers so that they can clean the house with their excellent sniping skills. So the best weapon for that is, of course, the Sonic Cannon. You can shoot from afar with an aim shot, and it hits most of the time, even when the soldier has like pretty crappy accuracy. It's like that accurate. Now the reason why I choose this over, say, Sonic Blaster Rifle is because you need, later in the game, right, Sonic Blaster Rifles become obsolete, meaning they kind of get phased out, and you'll probably have to construct or manufacture your own ammo for it. Whereas Sonic Cannons, pretty much every single alien late game uses it, so you don't have to worry about ever running out of ammo. Not to mention that it's the most powerful and the most accurate anyway. So, which is what you want your snipers to be, right? Snipers are meant to be accurate. So yeah, get your Sonic Cannons and give them to everyone who's not running around spotting the aliens. Okay, so next up we have the Thermal Shock Launcher. Now, I get this depending on what type of aliens I'm facing. Now, if I'm facing lobstermen, then you definitely need to get this, perhaps even before the Sonic Cannon, because obviously this is the best way to take down lobstermen, especially from afar. If you haven't faced lobstermen, you may want to save this for a tiny bit later. Not too much later, just a little bit later. And then ultimately, what I do once I actually get the Thermal Shock Launcher is to give them to all my scouters, because my scouters will be carrying a Vibro Blade and a Thermal Shock Launcher with about 45 ammo clips each. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter how you equip them in your squad, just make sure you have a couple in there once you start seeing lobstermen. Alright? Really, really important, and just make sure you have them ready. Alright, so let's focus on some ship weapons. The best weapon in the game, by far, is the Sonic Oscillator. So to get this, if you followed my research path, then all you will need is the Sonic Blaster Rifle, and then as a prerequisite, and then you can get the Sonic Oscillator. By the end of the game, you should have all your ships equipped with Sonic Oscillators, and even with the exception of dreadnoughts, you can even just equip one on each ship, because they can pretty much outrange every other USO. There's really no arguing about it. Sonic Oscillator is the best. Just get it.